Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, what do we even say?
What are you talking about, Destro? The war on Christmas has gotten completely out of hand. I can't believe I'm having to deal with such petty nonsense. You see, Destro, the commercialization of Christmas is just a... Destro, what is this giant box behind us?
Well, we had a little bit of extra room in the budget, and I decided to invest in one of Mindbender's.
This isn't another one of his pyramid schemes, is it? I swear, if I find out this is another attempt to sell Mary Kay...
No, Cobra Commander, it's nothing like that.
Okay, then spill it.
We have genetically developed a Cobra Emperor.
Wait, what?
You heard me, Destro. A Cobra Emperor, made up of the world's most revered and feared leaders in the history of evil.
Destro, where does that leave me?
I mean, I'm a company man, you know me, you still sign the checks.
Well, okay, let's open him up. But I swear, if this is some kind of ridiculous coup attempt, then you'll be the first to go, Destro.
Dr. Mindbender has agreed to take any responsibility for any unforeseen circumstances.
I have to say, Destro, that is one handsome-looking man on the front of that box.
The painted artwork is very fetching, and here are some of those meaningless symbols on the side.
Yes, HR's been trying to work out what these things mean for ages. A sword, a flag, a chess piece, a half-smoked cigarette.
However, notice that he's 57 years old, which, as we all know, is the peak age of masculinity.
Why would you say that? What in good gravy am I looking at, Destro?
No, I can explain. It appears he's sitting in the Lincoln Memorial. He's cutting his own shoulder. He may be cauterizing a wound. He's lifting you up by the collar.
What?
You can see that the slipcover just slides right off.
Great Caesar's ghost! That's fantastic!
And now check this out.
Goodness gracious me, Destro, you sly dog. Look at all this.
It makes for a fantastic playset. As you can see, I just put it on a plastic display stand that I had lying around. And there you go, instant diorama.
Well, let's give the people what they want.
Look at us, Cobra Commander. God's gift to women, right here in this beautiful diorama. The scale matches up nicely, and the painted artwork isn't half bad.
Oh, it's all so beautiful. Ever since the Missile Command base got repossessed by the Saudis, I've always wanted a new home.
Pull it together, you wretch!
I'm telling Globulus.
With such an impressive display, it'll be difficult to even bring myself to taking him out of the packaging. But let's get him out of the box.
Hey, who are we even talking to?
Shh. Hush. You know, Cobra Commander, the best thing about this whole set is that I only spent $79.99.
You spent what?
$79.99.
Why would they have charged 80 buckaroos for a single figure? But what on earth could justify such an outrageous...
Still comes with a vehicle.
Well, I mean, it's lovely and all, but it looks a little plain. It's something...
It's not a symbol, Cobra Commander.
But where are the other parts?
They come in a paper bag.
Ugh, environmentalists. Ugh.
Never fear, Cobra Commander. The blueprints are right here.
I see. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Well, I'm going to send in for some Cobra troopers to assemble this monstrosity. Watch closely as this disembodied giant hand points out that there should be no gap right here, Cobra Commander. It will actually have to click twice to be properly assembled.
Good night. What a pro tip.
Then you add the control mechanism. Then on the back, you simply attach the 2 rudders. Be careful that the detail portions and not the hollowed out portions are facing the outside.
Those disembodied hands sure know what they're doing, Destro.
Good thing I genetically modified a Cobra Trooper so that we'll never have to work or do manual labor ever again.
Why, Destro, it's gorgeous.
Oh, I know, but we're not done yet.
What? Disembodied hands? No! Stupid environmentally friendly packaging.
Don't blame me, I voted for Bernie. I love being a weapons specialist, mostly because I can't name a single real gun. Now simply load the ammo belts in like so.
What do people even mean when they say like so? I mean, shouldn't they just say like this?
You have to mount those babies' ammo belt side out. And there it is, all set up.
Well, Destro, I think that our viewers here at Fanboys Forever do know that $79.99 It is a whole lot of money. That's a frankly insane price to be asking for a figure and vehicle set, right?
Well, you would think so, Cobra Commander. But in today's economy, it does appear, with prices rapidly increasing, that a deluxe figure like Serpentor, that we'll get into in a moment, and this large painted vehicle would indeed command quite a price. So I don't think it's that far off for value of money, but then again, I am lighting cigars with $100 bills.
I didn't know you smoked.
The immaculate amount of sculpted detail on the air chariot is amazing. In particular, it's very impressive to see the scales on the front with the little techie bits in the little circles. Also impressive are the numerous parts that make up the vehicle, including all of the vents and even landing gear underneath. This gear is fully retractable when you want to whoosh it around and play G.I. Joe. On the side, you can see that the details extend to these cool tamper graphics. Thank you, disembodied hands. Caution gun reactor. You even have tamper-graphed gauges, also up here on the control stock. And on the side, more caution gun reactor. And of particular merit is the Cobra Emperor logo, where you actually have a crown on the top of the Cobra head. I also like that instead of it just being straight up gold plastic, there are plenty of gold paint hits. As you can see, here, and here, thanks to the disembodied hands, you're seeing gold paint. Even the bottom has all sorts of different tamper-graphic details, hydraulic and panel removal, all listed at the bottom. Especially cool is that these aren't stickers.
When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, prepare to see some serious... well, you know.
No, what?
Prepare to... never mind. Even the jaw opens, and the teeth are retractable for some reason.
The tongue is a machine gun. Thank you, disembodied hands.
The mouth can also be closed without the teeth.
Aye, Cobra Commander. The teeth are indeed retractable, but I myself have a wee bit of difficulty when it comes to flipping them back out.
Shut up, Destro. No one cares about your petty criticisms.
Yes, sir. As the disembodied hands are showing, the mounted machine guns do indeed rotate, but their range is not too significant. One little fun detail is you're actually able to spin the fan. You can get a little bit of that vintage action there. The steering column does not really appear to be able to turn very much.
I'm really liking the little silver accents that are right there. Aren't those neat?
Aye, indeed, Commander. 'Tis a fine vehicle, but what about the figure itself?
Here he is, Serpentor.
Cobra Commander, I'd wager to say that that's Cobra Khan from Masters of the Universe.
No, it's not. You're Cobra Khan from Masters of the Universe. Fine, here he is, Serpentor. Well, Destro, any first initial thoughts on this fella?
Well, Cobra Commander, all I can say is that at least he's not a world-class buffoon.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing. Serpentor here is packed with detail. He has a very impressive sculpt. As you can see, the face is very fierce looking. It's a dead ringer for the old Sunbow cartoon.
The what? Rainbow?
Now, one of the most impressive things is that there isn't any reuse at all on this figure. Every single piece is brand new.
Yes, as you can see, every individual scale has been sculpted. And much like me, he's wearing a scaly cape. He's already copying my trends.
Yes, it's wonderful to see this awesome, stoic facial expression. However, part of me wonders if they couldn't have included maybe a yelling head. I love how the snakes are actually individual kind of rubberized pieces here. I think that's a great touch. The cape is of course fully removable, so if you wish, you can take the cape and take it right off. Me, I'm a sentimentalist, so the cape stays on. Moving on down, he has this incredible belt buckle. Here's armor pieces on his thighs. The cool snake skin boots.
What?
I especially appreciate how on the back they even went to the trouble of making sure that this gold is actually a paint hit compared to the more dull gold plastic. He even has his little claw here on his hand, and even the hands aren't reused. You can actually tell that they're scaly. I mean, what can I say? From the boots to the head sculpt, this guy is immaculate.
Well, don't go falling in love just yet, Destro. He's got to have some limitations somewhere.
Perhaps. Articulation?
Yeah, why not?
He's really not very limited. except up here at the head, and there's really no movement at all, because this is attached. But let me show you a little something, Cobra Commander.
But he's hideous.
No, fear not. It actually comes with an individual hooded piece for the back of the Cobra head, and that simply plugs into a tab there at the back.
He's still horrific.
Never fear, he comes with an extra little piece that plugs into the top. And you know what this means?
No.
He no longer has the articulation problems. The head can roll all the way around at the neck peg there, and there's no more issues. So you kind of get to decide what you want to prioritize. Either that unbroken look like from the cartoon, or a more separated look so that he can have more articulation. But also, you can do away with this altogether for the more modern Serpentor look. But I'm going to be keeping it back there just like this. You can see he has a pretty good amount of range here at the diaphragm, able to go back about this much and forward about this much. At the waist, it's able to slightly roll around a little bit, almost simulating the old O-ring articulation.
And at the shoulders, you can see that there are hinges. You can go up about this far, bring them back down, and you can rotate at the upper bicep. There's even a double joint at the elbow. It's quite effective. You can roll the wrist peg around, and there's even a hinge. It is slightly limited when you have his claw attached, but keep in mind it is removable, but there's a big hole left. There's even butterfly joints at the shoulders. Down here we even have drop-down hips. This means that he can kick out really far, and they can be put back up to make the sculpt look more seamless. He can do the splits, just as he was genetically engineered to do.
I didn't engineer him.
Shh. He does have double-jointed knees. He can rotate both at the boot and at the upper thigh. There's even a hinge that works very well at the boots and rocker ankle pivot. How low can you go indeed?
I'm sorry, I don't know why I would have said that.
Look, don't make this any weirder than it already is, McCullen.
I don't know how that would be possible. So one thing that this figure does not do, which I'm very excited about, is it doesn't do the weird clicking articulation thing as you pose the legs around. That little ball joint there that the leg is fit onto doesn't give as much resistance when it turns, so you don't get that unpleasant clicking noise. Of course, that noise can lead to a lot of breakage, so I'm very happy that they have made this a much more smooth-feeling figure to articulate. And you know me, I love a bevy of weapons, and of course, his Cobra staff. It would have been nice had they painted the eyes on the staff, but I understand.
That's right. You gotta keep production cheap in China.
You can actually remove the top of the Emperor's staff, and there's actually a sharp, pointy end so that it can be a spear.
Another great accessory that he includes is his awesome serpent sword. And as you can see, it has a beautiful hilt. Combine it with that butterfly joint, and dare I say it, you'll get some absolutely iconic results. Not only that, but Serpentor even comes with an alternate claw. I have a feeling these blades are warped together a little more than they should be. But that's just something we've come to expect from production. Simply remove it and pop it in. And now he's even more deviously dangerous.
He comes with yet another. This time it's the weird living snake spear thing that he threw right into Duke's chest, and if memory serves, it sent him into a coma.
Yes, Hasbro made us sign some NDAs about saying it was a coma. I don't know, release the Snyder Cut. You know, Destro, I personally believe that this is the most powerful weapon in the history of Cobra, even more powerful than the His Tank and the mass device.
Why would you say such a thing, Cobra Commander?
Because it got us closer to killing a guy than we've ever been before. We've never killed a single person. And think how close we got with Duke. I mean, every time he sees the thing, what's going on, fellas? Ah! He'll be alright. So I don't know if you realize this or not, Destro, but it seems like in G.I. Joe Classified that a whole lot of characters are coming with pets.
Pets? You mean like animals?
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't really get it. People give them cutesy names and they copyright them, and it's...
Hey, fellas.
There's one now.
And what's your name? Leonard.
So Serpentor comes with this thing. It's, a cobra.
I mean, it seems a little on the nose, doesn't it?
I was once a man. Sorry about that. Bad memories.
It really has quite a bit of detail, you know. but overall, I probably could have done without it.
You know, Destro, dare say it that our corporate overlords at Hasbro would never do such a thing, but it almost sort of feels like padding to try and justify the price.
Yes, maybe, but they would never do such a thing.
I suppose you're right.
And that's it for what you get with the figure. Well, Cobra Commander, I suppose it must be time for us to see how Serpentor looks on the air chariot, and how difficult it is to actually get him on the thing.
Yes, indeed, Destro. First of all, find the 2 foot pegs. Of course, he does have holes in the feet. He'll want to watch that cape. It's right over the fan, you know. Now, once the feet are plugged in, you'll want to go ahead and take the hands and simply grasp the handles on the front. Thankfully, the hands are very flexible, so it should not be an issue. This is probably a good time to mention that Serpentor does not include any additional hands. For such a premium price, you would think additional hands would be no problem. But I suppose since these are unique sculpts, it's harder to justify the tooling.
The tooling?
Never mind, I'll tell you when you get older. And wouldn't you know it, there he is, Johnny-come-lately himself, Serpentor on his air chariot. I have to say, it's quite a fetching look. I think the one thing he's missing is some sort of wire for the cape. As he zooms around on this thing, you certainly wouldn't think the cape would just be static. It would be flowing in the background. But unfortunately, even at the high price, they did not include any sort of wired option. Now, of course, I know that the cape wouldn't have looked as good wired, because usually it makes it sort of bulky. But you still have to think it probably would have been worth it. Alright, Destro, let's go ahead and compare him to an older release. Basically, what we have here is Serpentor's air chariot, which is more or less the exact same vehicle as from the vintage line, but it was reissued for the 25th anniversary. He still looks great for what he was, but of course the new one blows it away. The size difference could not be any more obvious than it is here. So I don't think I realized just how large that this guy would be. This guy's gigantic. Look at him compared to me.
He's even quite a bit larger than I am.
Let's look at one of the biggest G.I. Joes, that insufferable Sergeant Slaughter. Even Sergeant Slaughter is probably a 1/4 of an inch shorter.
If you still don't believe us, check this out. He's even taller than a Masters of the Universe Classics figure. Say what? Unbelievable. Even poor old Duke is reduced to practically nothing.
Yo, Chuck. I'm gonna go. To even be eye to eye with Serpentor, you practically have to get him down on one knee if he were proposing. You wish.
The only figures that are really comparable in size and scale would be any of them that uses the He-Man body in the Masters of the Universe Masterverse series. They're a little larger, of course it is, alongside his counterpart. And of course it's pretty much just hilarious to see the 2 air chariots side by side. And keep in mind that practically any of your G.I. Joe classified figures can ride this thing. I mean, I look pretty fly on it.
And in what may be the most awkward moment of an already incredibly awkward friendship, I can ride on it too.
I'm going to ask you to get off the air chariot, please, Cobra Commander.
I was only kidding. I think any G.I. Joe fan would love to have this thing on their shelf. He's unbelievable. Well, Destro, what are your final thoughts on Serpentor?
Well, Cobra Commander, if I had to say, I believe that the $80 is still a little steep, even though we get a very impressive large-sized 12th scale vehicle and a very impressive premium figure. I still think that maybe we're looking at more of a $70 item, which would be more reasonable.
I agree, Destro. Even though it is only fair to say that the genetic engineering and cloning required to create him probably did contribute to the price.
Fair enough, Cobra Commander. Fair enough.
So, when can my latest genetic super soldier be ready to fight on the battlefield?
Cobra Commander, I'm afraid that you misunderstand.
What do you mean, misunderstand?
He's literally the Cobra Emperor. We created him to replace you.
Are you serious? Where's Dr. Mindbender? Send him in immediately.
I would, but he's not arrived yet.
What?
He's not here yet from Hasbro Pulse.
Look, at the end of the day, this is definitely the Serpentor figure that you've been waiting for.
Yes, I concur, Cobra Commander. With an incredible paint job, awesome soft goods, wonderful articulation, a completely 100% newly tooled action figure, and a wide variety of accessories and a very impressive vehicle, then it's easy to recommend Serpentor.
I wish he was a little cheaper, but overall, I have to say, it's pretty amazing.
If there was anything else I could add, it would be a few extra pairs of hands, perhaps a pointing hand, especially because it's not like you can pop off the hands from any other G.I. Joe and put him right on there, because these are completely unique to him, and you only get the 2 trigger fingers, which is sort of aggravating considering he doesn't have a gun, nor does Serpentor really use one.
I would have also liked to have seen the yelling head included. That would have been awesome.
Other than that, I believe that he's a very solid recommendation.
Oh yeah, go for it if you have the scratch.
With that out of the way, please make sure you subscribe to Fanboys Forever so that you can watch more videos having to do with G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, and all your other favorite nostalgic toy brands.
Yes, a subscribe and even a like would be appreciated. Make sure you comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this figure. As always, God bless you and yours. I'll see you on Fanboys Forever. Fanboy out. Cobra!
Cobra la 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 la!
What? What just happened? Dude, this is 2022.
Holy cultural appropriation!
Yeah, man, that's not cool. What were you even thinking?
Listen, laddie, I'm a pretty bad guy, but I mean, show a little respect. Where do you think we are, Kuwait?
This guy's a sicko.
Somebody say Kuwait?
Uh-oh.